Hi there, it's Mrs. Drake with the saxophone, and we're going to be doing lesson 18. I hope you've already warmed up with your 5-note scale. And also I'd like to do another warm-up. So before we get to lesson 18, would you flip back to page 26? Flip back to page 26 and let's do number 2 for a warm-up. The one called flexibility. And what they're referring to is the flexibility of your lips, because it goes from low to high. Okay, now I know number 2 is written with slurs, and certainly you can do it with slurs, but I'm going to do it without slurs. And I recommend the first time you play this song, you do it without slurs. So we're on page 26, the second one down, the one called flexibility. And you notice there's no key signature, so the F is going to be first finger F natural. Everybody warm up low F natural? All right. 1, 2, ready, go. So that's a nice little warm-up. Okay, flip back to lesson 18, number 1. Notice there's some slurs. And I am going to do the slurs. The first time through, you might want to leave off the slurs. It does make it a little easier if you leave off the slurs. But eventually, I hope you can get where you can do the slurs. All right, so take a look at number 1. Notice it has F-sharp key signature, and there is a F at the beginning of measure 5. And there's also one a little bit later in measure 7. So do you trust yourself to remember to play F-sharp middle finger? Or do you want to draw a sharp sign or something to remind yourself? Remember, it's okay to write reminders in your music. Okay, song number 1. Everybody warm up the first measure. Okay, song number 1, everybody. 1, 2, ready, go. Kind of a cool one. Okay, take a look at number 2. Notice the B flat key signature, and there are several B's in this. So I want to remind you that B flat, you do an A with your left hand, and then you do the bottom side key underneath your right palm and do it with the edge of your finger. So it's A with your left hand, and then you touch the bottom side key to create B flat. So I'm going to play an A, and then I'm going to play a B flat. Try an A and then a B flat. It should sound like this. Try that, everybody. I'm going to bend the camera down a little bit. Let's see if it's a little better. Okay, so in song 2, there's a lot of B flats. So the F is going to be first finger F. Also notice those extra lines underneath and above the notes. That is called tenuto or legato. It means to play it in a smooth style. I feel that's icing on the cake. For elementary school, don't worry about it. I'm giving you permission to ignore those lines. It's a more advanced technique. So on song number 2, and also later on in the one at the bottom of the page, there's some of those extra lines. Please, you have my permission to ignore them. Okay, song number 2, warm up the first measure. Remember to use B flats. 1, 2, ready, go. Kind of tricky because of all the rests. Okay, song 3, Oh When the Saints, and the full name of it is Oh When the Saints Go Marching In. It's kind of a classic tune. Okay, so look it over, F-sharp key signature, but there are no F's in it anyways. Remember that the tradition, if a melody ends on a G, they often have the F-sharp key signature, even if there's no F's in it. Okay, there's some ties where you link the notes together in one breath. Also notice it starts with pickup notes. Notice the first full measure. It's supposed to have 4 beats, but if you notice the first measure only has 3 beats. So that's when it's an incomplete measure, they're called pickup notes. So to lead it off, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then you jump right in on beat 2. Okay, everybody, so warm up the beginning of song 3. Okay, I'm going to lead it off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Kind of a nice melody. And it's a classic. Maybe you even recognized it. Okay, song number 4, rustic song, F sharp key signature. There is some F's in this, so remember it's going to be middle finger F sharp. Again, do you trust yourself to memorize or remember that, or do you want to draw sharp signs? I'm also noticing that there's some low E's. There's some low E's in it. I hope you remember how to do low E. Same finger position as the regular E, but just make sure your thumb is off the register key. There's also DC El Fine, if you need to highlight that or circle it. Remember, DC El Fine means return to the beginning. Return to the beginning and then stop at the word fine. Okay, song number 4 is kind of strange. You notice there's a pickup note, or in this situation it'd be a pickup rest. I'm not sure why they did that like that, but anyways. So I'm just going to lead it with 1, 2, ready, go, and the word go will be that rest, and then you just start right on the D. Just start right on that D. Okay, song 4, everybody warm up D. Remember to use F sharps. I'm going to give it 1, 2, ready, go, and then just start right on the D. 1, 2, ready, go. 'Little song. Okay, the one on the bottom of the page is a peaceful moment. A peaceful moment. I'm just going to fix my neck strap for a second here, everybody. I've got a new one. Oh well. Okay, but anyways, F sharp key signature. There are some F's, so remember to use F sharp. Do you notice in measure 4 they mark F natural? So that one particular F is going to be first finger regular F natural. But all the rest of the F's, oh no, there's one in 23 also. But if it doesn't have a marking, remember you're supposed to play F sharp. There's some of those legato lines. Remember, just ignore those. There are a few slurs. And this one has the DS El Fine. So look for that demented dollar sign. It's called del segno, which in Italian means the sign. So you play through the whole piece, then you leap back to the del segno, and then you stop at the word fine. So it actually ends up being kind of a long song. At the beginning it says legato. That means to be playing it in a smooth style. Legato is the Italian word for smoothly. Try to do the slurs. There is a 2-measure rest. I'll count that out loud. And try to do the slurs. If it's your very first time through, of course you can leave them off, but then I expect you to try to get the slurs mastered. Okay, from the very beginning. Everybody warm up the beginning? All right. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. 2, 3. I want to remind you that the bottom song on each lesson, A Peaceful Moment in this situation, has a recording that goes along with it. And I sent you a link to that recording. So if you feel like you have a peaceful moment mastered, I encourage you to find that recording and play it along with it. I also think Rustic Song might have a recording that goes with it. I'm not sure about that, but I know A Peaceful Moment does. So I encourage you to find that recording I sent you and try to play A Peaceful Moment with the recording. Okay, that was lesson 18.